Well, congratulations and welcome. I don't know why the hell I said congratulations, but I guess somebody needed to hear that today. Happy Sunday to everyone. It's been a hot minute. Took a 2-week vacation, but didn't really vacation anywhere except home. Welcome to Joanne's Healing Within. For those of you who are tuning in, remember to share, like, and comment on today's show. I'm your host, Joanne Angel Barry Cologne, your certified holistic personal trainer, intuitive healer, cosmic energy reader, medical astrologer, master of numerology, Reiki practitioner, Reiki master, and also the creator of the Chakra Balance Numerology Cosmic Energy Forecast deck. Super excited to be here with you today. Remember to share, like, and comment. If you have not seen the last episode, which was 2 weeks ago, you can go and watch that on many of the platforms. To just name a few of them: Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and Twitch TV. Watch that later. But today I have my amazing guest who's been here more times than, well, a handful of times, not even more times than I can count. I could probably count on 5 fingers. But before we go there, let me just give some shout outs to all those partners that make this show run week after week after week. To start with those amazing partners, there is a flyer that has all their information. We have Joe Monkman, who is our shamanic healing practitioner and wellness advocate. CJ Ives Lopez, who is the publisher and also, host of the Author's Porch podcast and magazine. Kitty Foss and Amy Martin, host of Intuition of Your Soul. Nick Rafter, real estate agent, writer, editor, and journalist. Kendra Greer, who's our astrologer. Terry Morse, Doctor of Natural Medicine and the founder of Morse Wellness. Nancy Rouse, who is our international author and artist. Those are amazing, amazing partners that help make this show run week after week after week. So today's title of the show is all about writer's block and inspired writing. Now, I know a little bit about that, but I'll have my guests talk to you more about that in a little while. So I always like to ask, how are you feeling? And what I mean by that is we have so much energy going on right now with our planets. And interesting enough, as today is the 23rd of October, today is the first day, the start of Scorpio season. For those of you who are not aware what that actually means, the sun itself has just rotated out of Libra and now in Scorpio season. This is a time where we do it like a deep dive into the darkness and really start to pull out the old stories that really does not serve who we are becoming. And every single day we are becoming a different version of ourselves. And we have the choice to bring in the different characters from past chapters if we choose to. And I invite you today to really examine those characters and decide whether or not, let's say, for example, if you have a character that's in a space of lack, limitation, do you really want to bring that character into this chapter? How does it serve you? My opinion is, my example of that is, it doesn't really serve me. So I'm choosing to leave that character behind and take on a new character's role in reference to abundance and unlimited possibilities. And you too can do the same thing just by making the choice and shifting the mindset. It really is like turning on and off the light, but you have to make the choice to do so. And with Scorpio season, besides the sun moving into Scorpio, we also have Venus moving into Scorpio today as well. Venus is our planet of relationships, money, and love. And what an interesting combination, money and love. As I just got done saying, do you really want to bring in that character that speaks of not having enough, that's limiting your wealth? Well, what a perfect opportunity that we have, where we have the planets helping us really shift gears. So what I like to do, in addition to the sun and Venus moving into Scorpio, make a note, circle it on your calendar, that as of October 29th, Mercury will also be moving into Scorpio season. So that's 3 planets that's going to be in Scorpio season. So all of you who are celebrating birthdays in Scorpio season, I'm going to wish you a happy early birthday now, and know that this is going to be a wild ride, not just for those in Scorpio energy in itself, sun, moon, and rising, but every one of us who has Scorpio energy in our chart. And we all do, whether you have a specific planet or a specific house that is associated with Scorpio. Every one of us are going to experience something during this season. And that starts today, October 23rd, and moves right through November 21st, 22nd, depending again on timing, until we move into Sagittarius's energy. So we have a really intensive period of time for this wild ride of learning about ourselves and pulling out, as I said, the new word is character, moving out the characters that really do not serve this next chapter, because every season is a chapter and you get to experience a different version of yourself moving into your deepest desires. So I would like to help you do that by shuffling the cards and finding out what one chakra can help you clear some blocks, stagnations, and what one number can be aligned to this energy that we have going on, in addition to the affirmation that helps to raise our vibration and add to our story. So let's see what we have going on. Here's our card for today. Interesting card. Self-love. Now, this really does fall into that category of the Venus Scorpio energy, where it really is about how do you love yourself, and do you love yourself enough to literally say that this person no longer serves this new chapter of mine and I have to let them go, or this favorite place that I love to go to really doesn't serve me anymore, or whatever it may be that you need to revisit. Now, in addition to this, the energy of Scorpio, I also want to bring to your attention that today Saturn goes direct, and Saturn has been in retrograde in Aquarius. That energy moves forward, which means there's going to be a lot of, shall we say, restructuring, our stories changing, and a lot of secrets showing up, which makes sense because, again, with this energy all in Scorpio season, a lot of things are going to start to reveal themselves, and maybe even things that you've told yourself just to sustain is going to start to shift. So with that being said, it's really important to ground your energy, to focus on not where you are right now, but to focus on your end result. Your end result. And what that really looks like. And start to act as though you're already in your end result, which means focusing on, I'm going to use this expression, and I got this expression from this amazing teacher that I attended a 2-day workshop over the last couple of days. And her expression is focus on the done deal. Be in the done deal. And what that actually looks like and feel like for you, your done deal. Not to focus on what you're in right now, but how do you want the ending of your story to look like? And then you have to act it out and be in it as though you already have it. That 73 is all about the 10 energy, which is about your soul's purpose, your soul's reason. And I do want to mention, I just need to find it. I do want to give some credit to the amazing teacher that I worked with over the last couple of days. Is her name here? Oh my God. Well, her first name is Denise. And I'm just trying to find, here we go. And I'm going to say it wrong because that's what I just do. Her first name is Denise. Her last name is Powernique. And I'm sure I'm saying it wrong. But you'll be hearing me speak about her a lot more recently because of the amazing event that she offers. And if you want to learn about her more, let me know and I'll share her out to you. But anyway, that 10 energy is about your soul's purpose and what you're here to do, meaning your journey to where you are working towards. And we don't necessarily have to go through this long journey to get there. We can get there a lot sooner by collapsing time. So it's all about self-love. It's about your soul's purpose, and really important about grounding your energy so you can be able to see your end result as opposed to being in the very moment here. And yes, it's important to be in the now, but why not be in your end result so you can get there faster? So that's our card for today. Love that message. I am going to take a quick commercial break, but before I do that, I want to remind you to share, like, and comment on today's show. Let everybody know that we are here, and I'm looking forward to bringing my guest in and sharing her story with you. So I'll be right back.
Hello, my name is Nick Rafter, journalist, writer, editor. I'm happy to be offering copy editing and line editing services at competitive industry rates. If you have a book or any document that needs to be edited and thoroughly looked through, please contact me at nickrafter@gmail.com. Let's discuss how to get that work done. That's Nick Rafter, NICKRAFTER, @gmail.com. I hope to hear from you soon.
Hello, my name is Reverend Nancy Rouse. I'm an internationally published artist, author, and poet. Please stay tuned for the end of this commercial to see how to order my latest book, Never Broken, Volume 3. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Nick Rafter, journalist, writer, editor. I'm happy to be offering copy editing and line editing services at competitive industry rates. If you have a book or any document that needs to be edited and thoroughly looked through, please contact me at nickrafter@gmail.com. Let's discuss how to get that work done. That's Nick Rafter, NICKRAFTER, @gmail.com. I hope to hear from you soon.
Hello and welcome back to Joanne's Healing Within. For those of you who are just tuning in, I'm your host, Joanne Angel Barry Cologne, and I will introduce my guest in just a second. Want to just do a recap regarding the intro of today's show. As I always do, sharing the card out, the affirmations about self-love, very appropriate and aligned with the fact that Venus has just moved into Scorpio season, and Venus is all about love, relationship, and your money. And when we talk about Scorpio season, it really is about the dark side and what's going to be revealed, and how can you let go of the old version of you and move into the new version, which means letting go of some of the old characters so you can really see yourself as the new version of you. 7-3 is about your soul's purpose, what you're here to do. Every one of us has a unique reason to why we are here. There is not one person that shares the exact same purpose. Doesn't matter how many healers there are in the world, every one of us has a unique reason to why we're here. Ground your energy so you can focus on what your goal, your soul's purpose actually is, so you can serve the world. Because believe it or not, you're doing a disservice when you are not serving the world with your purpose. So if you think that there's no one out there that needs what you have, think again, because there is many people that you were born to serve. So step into that role. With all that being said, I'm super excited to share my guest today, Susan Joy Metchell. Did I say that right or wrong? The last name. Menchel. Yes. Susan is our author and self-publisher. She's got a lot of other amazing gifts that she does do behind the scenes, but today she's here as our self-publisher and author. She has 3 amazing books that she has written and self-published over the last couple of years that I know Susan. Susan, share a little bit about who you are and you as an author.
I'm a person who's very introspective, and I started writing when I was 16, before I ever became a healer. I am a healer in that I'm a nurse, so I do that as my job, but my writing is something I do because I love it. And like I said, I started when I was 16 writing poetry to my mother and to my relatives, and about trees, about scenery, about bridges, because I love bridges. And it went on from there to compiling books of poetry, which I've written 2 books of poetry, Visions, and then my second book, The Journey. And they're compilations from different age groups that I went through, from 16 to 30, and then from 33 to 50 or something like that. I'm like guesstimating. I don't have the exact, ages. But during the pandemic, I decided why not put them out there to the public. So during the pandemic, I got an editor. I got help publishing through my editor. I'm on Amazon, Barnes and Noble. I'm wondering if there was anywhere else. I think
You
Barnes
could
and
probably find, yeah, you could probably find Susan's books probably on all the major book platforms out there. Because I know when you work with Amazon and even Barnes and Nobles, it's one of those things that's like a triple effect where other platforms that we may not even be aware of, your book can be found on. So I think it's amazing that how your poetry literally took life of its own
Mhm.
and found its way into 2 poetry books, and then you have a children's book too. Yes.
I always had an idea about this starfish who's different than the other starfish. So I decided to put it into book form, and I even drew the pictures to the pages. So it's called Lucky the Starfish. And a couple of my friends have read it to their grandchildren and they liked it. So that's out there also on Barnes and Nobles and Amazon.com.
Yes. And if I'm not mistaken, I think there's an image of the lucky starfish that perhaps can be seen on the screen, just so the viewers can get to see what that cover looks like. And if I'm not mistaken, these the covers of all 3 of your books, those are actual artwork that you did, correct?
Right, except for The Journey is by a friend of mine named Bernard Solko, who's a pretty famous artist. And he took a photograph in Paris of a roadway, and we thought it would be perfect on my book cover, so that's what I did. The other
Excellent.
2 are by me. Visions is a painting, a watercolor painting that I did, and Lucky the Starfish is part watercolor and part pencil.
Beautiful, beautiful. And just out of curiosity, do you have any of those books there with you right now, just so you can show up to
I didn't prep that because I
Okay,
didn't.
no worries, no worries. There are images, and at some point they'll be posted up so the viewers can see what those front covers look like. Because I'm always envious of people like yourself who actually are not just writers, but that can actually create artwork
Right,
to display the type of writing you do. And to me, that's amazing because that's not a gift that I have. Lord knows, I mean, I can scribble, but in reference to like serious artwork where I would be willing to want to put it up to display where the entire world can possibly see it,
right.
not happening for me. So I commend you for that amazing talent that you have in reference to wanting to put that on the front cover.
I just have my
Yeah,
phone.
we unfortunately we can't even see that. So no worries, no
You
worries.
have
There
the
we go.
cover.
There's an image. It just showed up. We have Lucky the Starfish up on the screen right now, so the audience is getting to see that. It's a beautiful, beautiful image, and you drew that, yes?
Yes.
I love that. Gorgeous, gorgeous. So yeah, so our viewers are able to see that, and in addition to when you do your writing, now the Lucky Starfish, as you mentioned, that is a children's book and it's about being different. Yes.
Right.
And I
Because
think that's so appropriate for now. There's
right,
so many children out there, not just in reference to being different in regards to, let's say, disability, so to speak, but also being
right,
different in regards to their spiritual gifts that they may have as well. So
right.
tell us a little bit more about that book and what inspired you to write that book.
So Lucky the Starfish came out of a place that was a little sad because my brother was born mentally retarded and autistic. So he was always kind of in the backgrounds in my parents' house. And I got him to dance and sing with me to the Beatles and different things like that. And he actually was a very good saxophonist. when he got a little bit older. But I always felt that like people who are different shouldn't be shut out and kept away from other people. So, and that they should be happy with who they are and be promoted for the things that they can do and not what they can't do. So
Yes, I totally agree.
that's where that came from. So, yeah, I mean, it's got a happy ending, it's got purpose to it, and it teaches children that being different is not a bad thing. So it teaches children acceptance, because that was the one thing I wanted for my brother.
Excellent. I love that. Now, just out of curiosity, and I know you and I did not speak about this off camera, but if somebody wanted to get a signed copy of any of your books, specifically the Lucky Starfish, is that available to them?
Yeah, actually an old friend of mine I knew in my 20s, he looked me up and he called me and I met him by my apartment and I signed all his books. So I
Beautiful.
would meet up with people at a coffee shop or something like that.
Well,
And
here's a better idea I think would probably be more suitable rather than you having a scheduled time to meet up with people.
uh-huh.
They could probably reach you through your email and then you can turn around and mail out
Well, they can,
once they purchase the books from you.
yeah, they can text me. I'm into that. They can text me at my phone number, which is 917-771-7715. And I can talk to them and get them out a copy. And it would just be a little bit of a fee for shipping.
Of course, of course. And what we're going to actually do before we take a commercial break, there's a flyer, a guest flyer that we're going to display, and that shows your email address. I think it's always easier for people just to do an email invite where they can just email you a question or two in regards that if they want to purchase any of your books and have it signed, they can just send you an email letting you know that, as opposed to you receiving all these texts regarding just that.
Either way. Yeah, either way is good.
So share your email with us that you would like people to reach you at. Should they have questions or should they want to purchase a signed book from you?
Well, the best email, which is a smaller inbox that I have, is my private one, which is smenchell@me.com. So it's just SMENCHELL@me.com.
Yes, and again, there's a flyer with that information on there. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to be sharing about Susan's writing's block that we all experience as writers. So we're going to be chatting about that writer's block into inspired writing. So hang in there, take that water break. We'll be right back.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kitty Foss.
And I'm Amy J.
And we're Intuition of the Soul. We are a Facebook and YouTube group that has created a sacred spiritual place to look at your spiritual practices.
And there's too much to tell you about what we do, but let me tell you, we have weekly activities, we have monthly activities, and you are not going to want to miss our spiritual practitioner series. So join us on Intuition of the Soul.
Aloha.
Hey, this is Joe Monkman, and I am a personal development trainer. And that means that I help people step into their leadership roles, take their place as a visionary, really understand their own mastery in the world so that they can really find their place at the buffet of life. And if you want to know more, you can find me on my Facebook page at Joe Monkman and joemonkman@gmail.com.
Hi guys, I'm Kendrick Cortez Greer, personal astrologer and astrological counselor here in Brooklyn, New York. I've been an astrologer for over 23 years now, providing astrological readings, counseling sessions, workshops, and corporate events all throughout the tri-state area. I've been very blessed and lucky to have clients all throughout the United States and beyond. If you're interested in a reading that is warm, heartfelt, honest, and conducive to speaking to one of your best friends, please contact me at 917-863-7528. You can also email me at kendrickstar@gmail.com. That's Kendrick, STAR@gmail.com. And for you Insta people, find me on Instagram at Kendrick Cortez Astrology. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Toodles.
Hello and welcome back to Joanne's Healing Within. I'm your host, Joanne Angel Barry Cologne. I have my amazing guest, Sue Joy Menschel, here with us. She is our amazing self-publisher and author, and she's got a lot of other things she does behind the scenes as well. She just shared with us some of the books she's written over the years, and she's an amazing, amazing writer and creative at that, for that matter. But just like anyone else, as writers, writer's block shows up. Things like, I know for myself, I can't just put pen to paper all the time. And Sue shares the same results as well, where it's not so easy to go, as the expression I like to say, write on demand. Sometimes it's not easy. So Sue, share with us your experience over maybe the last couple of months that has literally put you on hold with your writing. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, so a relative of mine has been very sick with COVID and another illness besides that. And I was hopping around to different hospitals and rehabs and everything. So I just felt kind of drained when I was done with all of that. And every time I'd say, I'm going to sit down and write, nothing happens. I just couldn't get the pen or the paper out there, even though I have plenty of paper sitting on my dining room table, which is usually where I write. What I noticed though, if you want to know how I kind of turned it around.
Well, if you is there more to that whole process of the writer's block, like what your experience is like, besides the fact that you had things that has actually taken place in your life that prevented you from writing? Is there more to that? I know for me, there's always so much more.
So sometimes I just get sick of the writing and it's just like enough. And I feel like I'm writing, but I don't like what I'm writing. And, it's crumpled up and thrown away. And, uh, it's very hard to get in the mood to write stuff that's very heartfelt because, sometimes you can't force it. You can't
Yes.
force it. It has to come naturally.
Exactly. And the style of writing for you is poetry.
Right.
And I know in your past books, a lot of your writing that you've done was based on different experiences that you've had that you decided to include in some of your books.
Right.
Now, in regards to what you've experienced in the last couple of months, did you ever think to take any of that and apply it into some of your writing?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in a relationship, which makes me want to write about it. Lately I've pulled myself out of writer's block because there's some challenges there with different personalities. Also, I'm in a new building in a new job, and there's treetops that I see from a certain floor of the building that I'll go sit at and get like motivated to be creative. So, I've used different things to kind of pull me out. There's also a friend that I've made on Instagram, Ellie, and Ellie.writes too is a site where she puts up poetry contests every Wednesday. And she puts a word like the word haunted, and she tells you to put out a poem in 11 words using
Nice.
the word haunted.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, so Ellie dot writes too is one of my favorite people on Instagram because she'll write a poem and throw it up there and you get to see where she herself is at.
Beautiful. I love that.
And
Now, when you talk about, we just talked about the fact of having writer's block, but now it's also in reference to going from writer's block to inspired writing. Now,
right.
for you, when you get inspired to write, I know you mentioned about the fact that you like writing about trees, and you're in all these different places. Do you have a specific place, meaning a specific time and place where you feel like you are activated to write, or can you just write basically anywhere in any place?
So what I had told you earlier is that I pulled one of my poems out of the frame. It's in a lucite frame. I love to write under bridges. For some reason, bridges and the water and the cars going across, people going from one side to the other, are a big inspiration for me to write.
Well, I think that makes a lot of sense because when you think about sitting under a bridge where there is actual water, when we speak about water, especially, as long as the water is in slight motion, water is about your career based on feng shui. And when you have cars literally driving over a bridge, there's motion, there's movement.
Right.
That would definitely activate your ability, your creative abilities, because you have all this movement around you. So I love that.
So I wrote this when I was 16. It's a short poem. I was going to read it.
Go ahead and read it.
Called Under the Bridge. Under the bridge, lights yellow and green, mixed with the waves, moving, flickering. Under the bridge, I sat pondering how strange the old tires, broken bottles, the algae rocks, the cars and trucks above, and the water all meet. No black and white here, all substances blend together here. No way for me to concentrate on one form without taking in the others. Under the bridge, a resolution of sorts overcomes me. I feel no need to hurry. I feel no need to connect. I am another substance, blending yet separate, separate yet certainly not alone.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love that.
Mary Ellen Lavelle.
Sorry.
I love that. That's a beautiful poem. In fact, I just shared it in with the on the Facebook comments so everyone else can know the title of it. Now, is that poem in any of your books?
Yeah, I believe it's in Visions.
Oh, okay. Very nice. Excellent.
Yeah.
Now, is there a specific, when you speak about wanting to do writing under bridges, is there a specific bridge that you go to more so than other bridges?
Yeah, so the Clearview Parkway takes you to the Throgs Neck Bridge, and there's like a wooden fence around it, and I usually jump over it and sit on the other side on the rock.
Nice.
And a lot of cats and stuff show up over there too, looking for fish. So it's kind of fun. That's my favorite place to write, is by the Throgs Neck Bridge.
Excellent. Now, in the recent time, have you done any writing?
Yeah, like I said, my boyfriend motivated me to write a poem. I'm not even sure if I titled it. It's sitting over here somewhere. And I wrote the title as For Mike, because that's
Okay. Nice.
10/15/22. So I wrote this on the 15th.
Excellent. Now, do you see in your near future a new book?
Yeah, well, I'm thinking about writing a book on relationships and how people build trust, and also how people have to compromise, because we are not all the same, and we can get each other a little crazy when we try to make someone into us, which my boyfriend is a little bit type A. So, we on occasion have fights, but then we get back together again and we resolve it,
Yes, yes. Well, they always say that every person is a mirror of ourselves. So however you see your boyfriend as you label him a type A, he's a version of you as
Right.
well. So there's something there that when you are in that place of not agreeing with each other, there's just a lesson there for both of you to learn about, so you can both go into that space of transforming
Right.
and moving into that newer version of yourself, which is really beautiful, very beautiful. So I'm excited to know that come 2023 that there may be a new book coming out for you. So I'm rooting for that. And I mean, I know this, but I also want to share it out to our audience as well, that there are some of your poetry that you've written that's in the 3 books that you have also been published in other places.
Right.
So do you want to share a little bit about that as well?
Well, you know what? I don't have the names. It's old now. It's been a while, but I was published in Texas in a volume of poems and a poetry. I'm trying to remember a version of poetry which was a hard copy book, but I haven't looked at them recently. Maybe I'll go look them up. They're in my cabinet.
Yes. And what I'm actually doing as Susan is sharing with you, I am currently looking at a most recent copy of the Author's Porch magazine that Susan is one of the feature poets as well. And I know that you have one of your poems in this book. And are you going to be featured in the upcoming issue in January?
Yes.
Awesome. So for those of you who are interested in reading that poem, you can always just keep an eye out in regards to when that magazine shows up. It will be available on Amazon come January. So you could definitely look for Susan's poetry in the Author's Porch magazine. And the magazine, as you know, is in hard copy. Now I'm going to actually pull out a different one because I just grabbed a different one. It is in hard copy, so you can, hard copy, but you can actually get yourself a printed copy. Now I know for myself as a writer and author too, I too like to have the actual book in my hand and not just read it on, let's say, my Kindle or wherever have you. And I know there's lots of people out there that love their reading material on their laptop, on their iPhones or iPads or whatever have you. I myself like it to be in my hand. How about you, Susan? Do you like your stuff in your hands?
Yes, definitely. And I've been published in the Author's Porch around 3 different issues.
Yes.
3 different times. It's 3 or 4 different times. So I'm in there.
Yes.
And they'll see my name on the cover if they want to buy it.
Yes, exactly. So again, that magazine is called the Author's Porch Magazine. And the next issue is definitely coming out in January. And I'm really excited about that. There's going to be amazing other contributors in that magazine as well, including myself. But for now, this is all about Susan. So Susan, if you will, feel free to, again, one more time before we do take another commercial break, let our viewers know your email should they be interested in reaching out to you to either ask you questions or even receive and purchase a signed copy of any of your 3 books.
Okay, so the best email to get me at is smenchel@me.com. And if they want to get me right away, they can use my cell and just text me at 917-771-7715. And I do in-person signings. If they really want it right away, I will meet somebody in a coffee shop and sign a book.
Awesome. Excellent. So we're going to take a quick commercial break. And when we come back this time, Susan is going to provide one tip that can either A, get you out of writer's block and move you right into inspired writing. And then as long as Susan's open, I'm going to give Susan a reading. So we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm CJ. The Author's Porch is a community where you find good books and good people. We collaborate with services that deliver quality to authors and publish a magazine for authors by authors. Come by, let us feature you or review your book. Coffee is always on, and no matter what time you arrive or where you come from, the porch light is always on.
Each of us has a mission. What's your mission? Would you like to become a community health resource specialist so you can help your family and your community? For more information on this new training, email me at terry@morsewellness.com. That's TERRY @MORSE wellness.com. You can become a community health resource specialist.
If you are turned off by conventional medicine and their mantra, "Do you want meds for that?" there's a better option. I'm Gabriella Mihalichin, medical intuitive and healer. Let me help you find the root cause of your illness and guide you through healing. My intuitive method directs your body to heal itself and removes barriers to healing. I invite you to schedule a session today at alivehealthsolutions.com.
Hello and welcome back to Joanne's Healing Within. I am your host, Joanne Angel Barry Cologne. I have my amazing guest, Susan Joy Mitchell. She is our self-publisher and author, but she's got many other amazing hidden gifts, not skills, well, skills too, that we are not speaking about today. Our main focus here is her as an author. And based on our title today, Writer's Block to Inspired Writing. So Susan's going to share a tip today in regards to going from the writer's block into inspired writing. So Susan, what tip do you have for us today?
Well, one of the things that will get you out of even a bad mood, not just writer's block, is to go outside and go walk, take a walk by the trees and the grass and be in nature. Another thing that I do that I was sharing earlier is I read through my phone, through Instagram, I read other people's poetry. And when you keep up with other people writing, it inspires you to write because you get in the mood to put the pen to the paper. So a lot of my checking, people think I'm like engrossed in Instagram that I'm watching videos, but what I'm doing is I'm reading poetry. Because I have about 5 or 6 friends I've made from Ellie.writes too. She has all these people that also write on their walls, and I'm reading all different poets' poetry and getting new, fresh ideas for how I could write again.
Love it. I love it. So I'm hoping that helped everyone out there who does do writing. And again, writer's block is, I believe, a normal strategy. We are not always going to be on top and ready to put pen to paper. And for those of us who do have to be on top, where you do have that monthly article that you're committed to writing, or whatever the case is, be kind to yourself. As our card for today, let me see if it's still here, that self-love card is really be kind to yourself when you are experiencing life. Because life does happen, and there'll be times where putting pen to paper might be a challenging time. So don't beat yourself up if you cannot get those words onto paper, and appreciate the times where you do go into an explosion of writing, because that will happen as well. So give yourself that peace and grace when you are in that phase of writer's block. And just as Sue shared with you, get out into nature, because it definitely can inspire you. It definitely can jolt the creativity and help you put pen to paper. And I forget the actual mentor whom I worked with many, many years back regarding writing skills, writing tips. But sometimes they say that if you just take your pen or pencil, whatever you're writing with, and just scribble on paper, that eventually, if you are that person that has to write on a daily basis because there's an article that you're committed to writing, scribbling eventually over time will tap into your creativity. And here's another tip that I'm going to provide. Your non-dominating hand. So if you are right-handed, take that pen, put it in your left hand, and scribble, because that too is going to help activate your creativity and get you to write as well. So of course, if you're left-handed, go into your right hand. So try those tips out and see how they help you along. So Susan, are you open to receiving some insight today?
Sure.
All right. So to start off with, what I'm going to do here for Susan is I'm going to give her some insight based on her personal energy year number. And what that just means is her personal energy for this year of 2022, the remaining portion of 2022. After all, we're like literally towards the end of October. We're moving into November. We have what? Like 2 months left of 2022. I myself am surprised and shocked that we're this far into 2022 already. But because we are still in this energy, her energy for 2022 is a 5. And the number 5 is all about change. Changing perhaps the mindset, changing things around, changing relationships, changing places, lots of change in that energy for this year. That change also leads to a lot more freedom that you may find yourself having. And being diligent about making sure in your everyday, if not every day, at least once a week, incorporate something fun into your life. That chill will activate more change into your schedule. So what I like to do now is I'm gonna tap into your energy. And the insight that I'm providing is for your highest version of yourself. So just be open to receiving the insight and know that this is information that is to come for you, that you may not necessarily be experiencing right now. And it could also be some things you're experiencing right now. So let's see what's in store for Susan. Interesting card and information. So we talk about the affirmation, which is health. Now, interesting, as I said, for this year, Susan's in a 5 energy year. When we move into 2023, Susan's going to move into a 6 energy year. The 6 energy for Susan is all about health. It's about taking better care of yourself. It's about becoming more diligent with your health, fitness, and wellness regimen. And it really is about, when I hear the word health, I'm also hearing how it's going to activate your ability as a healer or transformer, that health word. Now, the color itself is connected to sacral energy. Sacral energy is all about removing, releasing, and letting go of judgment towards self, guilt, shame, and blame. The old stories that you might still be carrying that you no longer need as you move into this new energy. So all of your old stories that you've experienced in your past may not necessarily need to go into this new chapter as you move into 2023. So allowing yourself permission to step out of judgment and move into a space of move into a space of curiosity and also courageousness. So the confidence can show up more for yourself and see yourself being more confident as well. Does that resonate with you?
Very much so.
I love that. And the number 33 is a master number. And when we talk about the number 33 as the master number, it really is about being able to be the master sacrificer, meaning sacrifice you so you can really focus on healing you, not be so concerned about how everybody else is doing. And I know just because of, again, your hidden gifts that we did not speak about today, your nature is to want to always help others, but you often put yourself on the back burner to do that.
Mm-hmm.
As you move into your 6 energy year in 2023, it really is going to be about you taking the front seat and you making sure you are taking care of you and not being concerned about what other people are doing. And even more importantly, not being concerned about how other people feel you should be doing things. And not for you to look for true words, I hear, praise and confirmation from others. It's going to be your job to praise and confirm what you are doing for yourself. So rather than looking externally for the support must come from self. And that's that 6 energy. It's really about self-healing, self-nourishment, self-confidence as well. And being the sacrificer as you move into 2023 so you can really heal, nurture, and transform this version of you and seeing yourself in a different light. The old characters of yourself from your past story no longer really exist unless you allow them to exist in this new story. You get to decide what characters from your past come into your new chapter in 2023. Does that make sense to you?
Totally.
So this is a great opportunity for you to really, I would say starting now, to really reflect on the characters of your old story and how those characters, what characters are going to show up for you in 2023 and what characters are you going to put to rest?
So some of the writing that I planned on doing is based on me unraveling my apartment of old things and old memories. And I might end up writing about old times with old people that were connected to me because I'm going to be pulling apart stuff that has memories attached to it.
Yeah, and that's great. But also take in consideration the insight you just received today about, yes, we always have memories, but we don't need to always tell the stories of the memories, because as long as we continue to tell the stories of the memories, we keep those memories alive And some of those characters don't need to come into your new chapter.
Okay.
So keep that in mind, because again, as long as we keep talking about it, we keep giving it life.
Okay.
And if we are going to give that life, that means we're bringing that character into our new chapter, and that may no longer serve that energy for you.
You're saying just let go of the stuff, let go of the memories, and go on to the new phase of changing into something transformational.
Yes. So theoretically, the bigger picture is the memories that raises your vibration. Those are the memories you hold on to. The memories that bring your vibration down, you get to choose if you want to let those go, because they don't really serve the next chapter. And that's something we all need to learn to do, is recognize that we don't have to continue telling the old story over and over again. We can put it to rest, which then makes space, considering, as you said, you've been doing a lot of moving things around in your home where you're making space. And we don't have to fill that space up with the same old junk.
Right.
So with all that being said, one last time, Susan, let everybody know the email that they can reach you at should they have questions or wish to purchase a signed book from you.
Okay, so it's SMENCHELL@me.com. And
excellent.
Yeah.
And there is a flyer that has that information on there, so the viewers can just look at that flyer, reach out to Susan. If you have any questions, if you want to purchase a signed copy of any of her books, and we're going to be following Susan to see how and what new books come up as we move into 2023. So Susan, thank you so much for being here today, sharing your journey in regards to writer's block and inspired writing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and I'll be back with the conclusion of today's show.
Hello, my name is Reverend Nancy Rouse. I'm an internationally published artist, author, and poet. Please stay tuned for the end of this commercial to see how to order my latest book, Never Broken, Volume 3. Thank you.
Did you know that stress and unprocessed emotions can store in your body, creating more muscle tension and pain, causing illness and disease to flare up? With the help of Chakra Balance Reiki Healing, you can begin to feel better within one session. Hello, I'm Reverend Joanne Angel Barry Cologne, your certified holistic personal trainer, intuitive healer, cosmic energy reader, medical astrologer, master of numerology, and the creator of the Chakra Balance Numerology Cosmic Energy Forecast Deck. And I would like to help you release issues from your tissues as you release emotional weight and begin to feel better physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. For more information, email healingwithin76@gmail.com. Hello and welcome back to Joanne's Healing Within. I'm your host, Joanne Angel Barry Cologne, and I'm super excited for you to be here, but you're going to have to come back and watch from the beginning, because we are literally in the last couple of minutes of today's show. I had my amazing guest, Susan Joy Mitchell, here with us. She's a self-publisher and author, and she's got a lot of amazing hidden gifts behind the scenes. So continue to follow her. She does have a new book that's going to be coming out in 2023. Title has not yet been revealed, but she's working on that. So super excited. And she had an amazing card that showed up for her for today, which was all about health, the sacral energy, and the number 33. Usually I don't share the card after of the card for the guests, but this one, for whatever the reasons are, I was guided to share with each and every one of you, because it could very well resonate with you as well. Make sure that you are being the sacrificer. You are sacrificing yourself. You are making sure you put yourself on the front burner as we move into 2023, because it's important that you start seeing yourself in a different light and really shine that light for today going forward. with all that being said, just going to give a shout out to some of my partners who have some amazing promos going on right now. And there is a list. There's a flyer for each one. We're going to run through this quickly. So here we go. The Author's Porch magazine and podcast. Intuition of the Soul. Kendrick Greer Astrology. Spirit Messages and Energy Insights. Morse Wellness. Find Your Place. And by yours truly, 12-week astrology course. So those are our promos. And as I mentioned earlier on for today, we are now in Scorpio season. In a week from today, we are going to be Halloween weekend. So obviously, because it's Halloween weekend, well, I guess not obviously, I will not be on next weekend, but I will be back the following week, the first Sunday in November. I will be back. And don't have a flyer for the guest for the first Sunday of November because it's a mystery guest right now. So just to keep you at the edge of your chair, curious to know who's going to be with me on the first Sunday, which I believe is November 6th, but I will be back then. Feel free to leave your comments, questions, and if you have any questions for me, feel free to reach out, healingwithin76@gmail.com. And know that I am working on my 2023 show calendar. You'll be hearing more about that. For any of you out there who are interested in becoming a guest partner to Joanne's Healing Within, reach out to me. But for now, enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy Scorpio season and all the other planets that are in Scorpio, such as Venus and eventually Mercury. And Saturn has gone direct. And we have a whole lot of other stuff, such as eclipse season 2. So I will talk to you all later. Bye-bye for now.